very quickly, what we're doing here is we are recording for 3 properties. We are doing video for Oiko, which we've just to completely ignore, and Focus will make us all look lovely and embarrassed after that. We're recording interviews that will air later on Radio International.
That's true, yeah.
And we're also airing the 1-hour special that will go out on UK radio tomorrow between 3 and 4 p.m. Okay? So we're not doing a whole hour just now. We're going to record a 20-minute block. Okay? I'm going to record a 2-minute block at the start, which is just me introducing my show. Okay, and I'll ask you two just to say hi because you're going to appear through the rest as the guest. I will pretend to go to music, put a small break in there. When we pretend to come back from the music, I'll have a quick chat with quick 30 seconds with JP. I'm going to say, JP, who's our first guest? At that point, that's where Radio International show will cut in as well. So JP will essentially do a full international there. We'll mention that we're going at Radio International as well. It is a pre-record, so if you make a complete mistake, if you have an issue that requires legal clearance or something, that's fine, unless it's funny. Because if we're going to go down and be sued, we're going to be sued for something funny.
Yeah.
Okay?
Talking too quick for you? No. Okay.
For me.
That's good for you. Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about that. You'll learn. Right. Okay. Tra-la-la-little.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Let's put. You can record already, so then it's you can count.
Okay. Tape is rolling. We are gonna. Yeah, we're gonna need that down, I think. Yeah, or at least half the volume. We've got half the volume on that, so they can still hear. Because it's just coming through.
Was it also not good publicity to have this?
No. Well, technically we can't.
Yeah.
Or technically we can because it's not going out live. It just gets awkward. Right, let me just bring up my. Come on. Yes, I know I've not got an internet connection. That's fine. Okay. Guitars. Do I have better? Okay, right then. Okay. Okay, we're ready. We're going to start. Right. I'll do my introduction later. I'll do my radio introduction in a moment because I need to find out the jingle. So we will just pretend we've started and we've come out and. So that was Sensation there from Lyrica, one of the toe-tapping numbers from last year's Junior Eurovision Song Contest. Still going on repeat in my household thanks to the kids. JP, it was a lovely contest last year in Amsterdam. You managed to lose.
Oh yes, it was lovely, but of course here it is better.
Indeed.
Much.
By better you mean you're not going to lose your car in the car park this year?
No. Amongst so many cars we had in Amsterdam, we were running around in the underground car park, and it took us about half an hour to find it actually.
Oh, those delightful, wacky Europeans. We're getting them all here. Of course, JP, host of Radio International's Eurovision show, joining us here on Castle FM Scotland for our Eurovision preview. JP, why don't you introduce our co-host?
First of all, the ladies first, and this is Isanne. She's from the Netherlands, and she's a huge fan of the Eurovision Song Contest. And so, how are you liking the buzz here?
I really love it. I dreamed of it to be here, and I'm here, so I'm very excited to be here. And so, yes.
Okay, well, she is working as an interviewer with Oikotimes right now, so how do you feel of actually going to meet the young artists?
It feels so good and so inspiring because they're so happy and they're following their dreams, and that inspires me to follow my dreams, so it's good.
Okay,
I love kids, so.
We chat a bit later on, and the other guest we have is the main man. It's the guru behind this Junior Eurovision Song Contest.
It's Fantis Oxelius!
Maybe in disguise. It is Roman Keryk. He is the NTU, that's National Television of Ukraine's executive producer of the Junior Eurovision Song Contest 2013. That's a mouthful. Hello, Roman.
Hello, how are you? Everything is good for us. We are doing show, biggest in Ukraine. We have more than 600 fixtures. We have millions of cables and everything. And for now we are doing rehearsals, last rehearsals before the recording and the show.
So Roman, obviously, for people who know Eurovision, Junior Eurovision, they'll know a bit of the history, but this is the second time Ukraine have hosted Junior, and obviously you've hosted the adult contest before. What makes this one more difficult?
At first, if you change the rules for this year, We have 3 winners. We have a lot of changes for draw process, and at first we wanted to set very high standard of quality of everything and very high standard of safety. So as for now, we are doing this show to fulfill all standards of adult Eurovision.
So what's your typical day? I mean, the job title obviously encompasses everything, but if somebody was to say to you, describe what you do at Junior Eurovision in just a few lines, what do you do?
As for now, I'm just trying to answer all questions that I got for the millions of them. But from beginning, we started to create a contest, we started to create a team, and it was like a very long process to prepare all art things, all opening interval acts and everything and everything.
Have you got a question to Roman? Because I must say as well that yesterday Roman gave us a stage tour and this was amazing. Tell us how you felt about that.
It was amazing. I actually studied media management and I focus on television production and research and directing in school. So it was very, very nice to see Roman giving us a tour and telling us about the technical side of the Junior Eurovision. I recognize a lot of things. And it feels so good. It felt good to see everything, and this is the show I've always been dreaming of to wait. I always dreamt to be here. So if you see this and everything backstage, it's amazing.
Roman, tell us about your team you're working with. How many people are actually backstage working with you?
It's near 200, so of them we shoot 2,600 badges at all. So we have near 1,000 workers here, and the closest team is near 40 people.
So obviously, I mean, the Palace Ukrainia has hosted a number of music events that NTU have covered. So, for example, we've just had the Melody of Two Hearts broadcast earlier in the week, which, by the way, is a fantastic show. If you can get a copy of that, of the video file for that for me to watch from the plane back, I would love a copy of that show. We stumbled over it, Charlene and I, and we're just like, really? Wow. But, so, you have a venue that's used for music events that NTU have a familiarity with. What makes Junior Eurovision different from a production side of view? Because, you know, you can't just do the same sort of stuff that you do at Melody at Two Hearts that you can at Junior. There's huge changes because it's international, it's live, it's... You know, what's the biggest difference between doing this sort of production than just a normal run-of-the-mill music production?
We are 10 times bigger than normal production here, and we are 2 or 3 times bigger than the biggest production ever.
So that's in terms of what? In terms of cost, of manpower,
It's only in terms of quantity of equipment, quantity of special things that was created especially for this project, I mean set design. And at first we have the first show here in Ukraine that is 100% backup. So everything here is backup full.
Roman, what for you is the biggest problem that you have come across in setting up this event?
Oh, tell me it's Luke Fisher.
The biggest problem. We had millions of them, but the biggest one was to change minds of our team to set the highest quality of the contest. It was the main trouble.
Of course, it's a huge live show that you're going to have out on Saturday, and what happens if something goes wrong? Have you got a plan B? What will happen if, for instance, power is cut?
We have plan B and plan C for all chains in this process. At first we have backup generators for our backup generators. At second we have doubled all signal lines, all satellite lines. We are using the biggest satellite antenna, 13 meters. It's really a huge thing. The weight of the antenna is more than 1,000 tons, so we are sure that we will transmit this contest in good quality.
And of course, there's the standard backup that the dress rehearsals are recorded with all the host broadcasters, so if there was to be a huge snowfall that brought down the antenna down, the show from the night before would still go out, so you would have time to recover. So there's lots of stuff here that nobody really sees backstage. They just see people come out and go off the stage and sing, and at the back it's just like... It's like the Muppet Show, isn't it? With chaos and Kermit the Frogs and everything, isn't it?
Yes, but backstage is really interesting because the real life is going there. We have more than 260 kids on final, on the closing ceremony. We have totally more than 100 square meters of props. We're using a lot of pyro and a lot of SFXs for the show, so it's a real life there.
I'm wondering, yesterday I saw two people sleeping on the couch backstage. It seems that they make a lot of hours each day. Can you tell me how many hours you've been making last week?
Oh, we have no normal shift for our workers. It's 8 hours length, but it was really a surprise for me that some of our workers come to me and say they will not come to home unless they will do all the work. It was really shocked because they worked 30 hours without sleep, and I really asked them to go home, but they refused.
There's a huge amount of pride here for NTU and Ukraine as a country as a whole in getting to host Junior Eurovision.